face off in the richest event in men's tennis history. That's at Forest Hills, just next week, May 5 to 11.
1980.
1980, next week.
Don McEnroe out. Connors broke him in the second game of the set. Leads 3 games to love. I would imagine that Patty Connors, sitting just beyond the gentleman there with the little great big, what is it, an orange flower or something, smiling, feels a little bit better now than she did in set number 1 when her husband Jimbo dropped 2 service games and lost 6-2.
So many of the ladies on the tour, wives of the players, get very excited when they watch their husbands play. Patty is very cool, calm, and collected.
Just nicked the net, and a fine winner for McEnroe. Some of you are just joining us, and we welcome you to the 1980 World Championship of Tennis. We are in the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. A set apiece. McEnroe serving at love 3 in the 3rd. And I think that one of McEnroe or Connors' serves has knocked out the little green light that designates who it is that's serving. We know it's McEnroe, but it's down next to the 6. It also has some lights knocked out. That's at the scoreboard on the far end.
That's the price you pay for wanting to be a scoreboard while these two boys are playing tennis.
So we'll show your own scoreboard there for a moment. That volley of Connors effective.
Well, you're seeing that last point again. Jimmy Connors so solid on the volley. That time one hand takes one hand off the racket sometimes on the volley. At other times takes 2. Need to keep firm wrists on the volleys both sides, and you can certainly do that if you keep 2. Sometimes though you are restricted in reach.
Yes, sir. Fine return by Connors. And it's 15-30.
Well, of course, that's why Connors has been so successful for so long. It's the returner serve that he gets hard. He gets it low, makes it very tough on the server to put an effective volley away.
The voice of Dave Erickson kind of gave way in the excitement there. It is a fault. Second serve. He's smiling himself. Oh, beautiful. McEnroe between his legs and can't make it. And a couple of break points for Jimmy Connors. Go up 2 service breaks. It'll be tough on McEnroe in the 3rd set.
Do not underestimate the importance of Jimmy Connors' lob. You know, when you talk about Jimmy Connors' game, people don't say what a great lob he's got, but I'm telling you, you're getting another look at it. That is a shot that he has great disguise on. You can never tell when he's going to hit it, and it sets himself up for the passing shot when he needs to do that as well. It adds a new dimension to the game of Jimmy Connors, and I'm not saying that he's only starting to use it now, but it is a great dimension.
Important points for McEnroe. Saved one of those 2 break points. Can he afford to go down 2 service breaks?
Saved him by an extraordinary volley, the backhand volley of John McEnroe. You're looking at it again. Look how far out in front he hits that ball and the angle that he gets. It looks easy, folks. But believe me, it takes years of practice, particularly the way John McEnroe does it.
McEnroe now to game point. Down 15-40, now has the advantage.
And when we look back on this match, Jim, this could be a really vital game. If he had lost the serve game, John McEnroe, and he was down 15-40, you can be very sure that Connors would have won the set 2 serve breaks, 4 games and his serve to come. As it is, though, McEnroe, if he holds on here, he's only 1 serve break behind.
Whoops.
Not happy with his ball toss. John McEnroe does the right thing, does not hit the ball, and puts it up in the spot where he is happy with it. Well, that's the high cost of missing your first serve against Jimmy Connors, because this is what he can do to you on the second serve. Off the backhand side, so solid, and a better margin for error than he does off the forehand side. A little bit of topspin keeps the ball on the racket so long.
You can hear McEnroe muttering to himself. He's got to give Connors another second service at deuce. And Jimmy's got a third opportunity to break McEnroe. Remember the importance of the first serve.
Talked about the versatility of the game of John McEnroe. What is the strong point in Jimmy Connors? If you miss your first serve, he can be lethal. You're watching it right here.
Defensive lob. Connors will get that one, and he thought he had it, but we're back to deuce.
And I thought that John McEnroe was going to pay the price for not putting everything behind the overhead. He gave Connors another look at the ball. There it is, bingo, hitting that one less than as hard as he can, without a doubt. And the passing shot attempt from Jimmy Connors, you're getting another look at a different angle on the forehand of Jimmy Connors. My goodness, that's how it looks from directly behind the racket of Connors. Into the tape. Close call for John McEnroe. Low percentage first serves from John McEnroe this game. Remember, in the second set, he got 61%. That's about average for him, round about between 60 and 65. Here's John McEnroe under normal circumstances.
Oh, gee, what a return on that second serve, and back to break point for the 4th time.
And the great thing that Jimmy did on that second serve is he took a little bit off it. He never went through the ball. There was a little bit of underspin. I think that took McEnroe by surprise. He has been looking at the hard, flat returner serve of Connors. He thought it was coming at him, but what did Jimmy do? Took a little bit off it. The ball stayed a little lower down at McEnroe's feet. He was forced to try to volley it up and made the error.
Line first serve. Connors! Oh!
Believe me when I tell you that Jimmy Connors understands the important points as well as anybody else in the game. He keeps his head down when he needs to, and the angle that he got on that passing shot, unbelievable. And what does it give him? A second break of serve, 1 set all. John McEnroe looking for the down the line. You could almost see him saying, I can't believe he got that kind of an angle while he was running that fast and that wide, but he did. It's second break, 4 games to love, Connors.
Clifford, we may be here for a little while. I hope so. I like it, as I said, I was here in 1972, 5 sets tiebreaker in the 5th. I'll take that today. Connors up 4-love. I'll see that shot for a long while in my memory. Remember, you got the number 2 man in the world on the other side of the net from Jimbo Connors. And like Connors, there's no way in the world he's just going to go to sleep, figuring this set is over. He broke Connors twice in a row, remember, back in the first set. Both. 15-30.
And you saw Jimmy Connors, or did I see Jimmy Connors come after a second serve? John McEnroe had decided that he was going to approach the net. Very seldom you see 2 players in singles at the net at the same time. Connors, of course, missed the volley.
Connors in. And a couple of break points for McEnroe.
I tell you, if John McEnroe says that he's not going to lie down for anybody, Jim, and this is what makes the last game so extremely important. Watch McEnroe, who, again, Connors had to have thought that McEnroe was not going to be quick enough to both get to that ball, running wide, and make the cross-court passing shot. He was looking for the down the line, and he was wrong, and so was I.
McEnroe. Right at his feet. Connors put it right at his feet. It's 30-40.
Overhead from McEnroe. Connors still in the point, and very much so. So much so, in fact, that he wins it. Fine passing shot, I'm going to say, right into the body there of McEnroe. Kept the ball low, forcing the error. Still break point, and McEnroe serving notice that he has not given up on this 3rd set in spite of the fact that he is 2 serve breaks down. Remember, if he wins this point, he will be only 1 serve break down, and anything can happen.
McEnroe wanted to call him out. He didn't get it. If he loses this point, he'll say something, but he's not going to lose the point. McEnroe's going to another racket, I know, just wipe off the handle. As on the changeover is here, and it is 4-1. Connors in the second set, a set apiece. 1980 World Championship of Tennis will continue after these words from your local station.
That about does it. Let's call it a day.
It's been a long day. I know that.
Love is full of surprises.
We enjoyed that, my husband and I, and we stay and have lunch, and sometimes...
Well, I'm the side pockets.
Is this 8 ball?
Yeah.
We better let Nick put some tomatoes on.
Does that come with it?
Warm company and a hot meal. If you're over 60, join us for lunch at Spice. Call Spice at 587-3524.
Back in Reunion Arena, and it's quite a match with John McEnroe. Now just on a single service break. Connors, Cliff, it's obvious when we look, serves is very much improved over that first set.
And McEnroe indeed has gone down. So those first serve stats tell a story. John McEnroe getting in very close into the net. He's following his game plan, is not staying back, not going to be intimidated by Jimmy Connors in the long run, although I felt that early in this set when he lost a serve break, in fact lost 2 to go down 4-love, he was beginning to be intimidated by the ground strokes of Connors.
McEnroe that time picked up his left ankle. It's been tender for some time and put it down. Apparently he's okay.
Well, that final volley that Connors put away, set up really by the great returner serve, low to McEnroe's forehand side, forced him to half volley and made for the easy volley. It's good.
On the line. No.
There is so much to be learned from Jimmy Connors. The lob, again, we've spoken about it before. I have, Jim, and I got to say again, that was the defensive lob, of course, but he threw it. Where did he throw it? Way up into the air. Got himself back into the point. Didn't finally win it, but it had a 50-50 chance after that ball landed in. In fact, probably should have had a higher percentage at that point. John McEnroe, I've said before, he's brash, he's irreverent, but he is his own man. He has always been that way. I've spoken to some players who knew him as a kid, and they say, don't say that John McEnroe has changed because of fame and fortune. He has always been what he is, an individual and an interesting man.
Game point the other day when he did swear at an official, he quickly said in the locker room to the press afterwards that he was at fault. It was the moment. He was sorry he did it. And he's operating right now under a warning here for way back in the 5th game of the 2nd set. And after missing a shot, he screamed something, and Zeno fouled the umpire of the chair, immediately slapped a warning on him. Now the lob, right on the line again, too good. Deuce.
And McEnroe is down. Jim.
He's got that left ankle. I don't know that he's really hurt the way he's fiddling with the tennis balls there, but he does have a very tender left ankle. We told you moments ago he was picking it up and putting it down, but apparently okay.
See if we can see how this happened. Again, the lob of Jimmy Connors, spoken about it before, but what extra. I think he just fell down and needed a rest, Jim, is how it looks. from that camera angle anyway. And there it is again. I'd love to be able to see that one on 6 replays from 17 different cameras. That's Ralph Millay in the truck showing us a couple of different angles on the great lob of Jimmy Connors and the attempt by McEnroe to get back there.
McEnroe shows no sign to me at all of limping. Oh. What a time to come up with his third double fault. He is double faulted to break point. If Connors gets it, he'll be serving for the second set, or the third set, and to go up 2-1. We saw that kind of wild serve in the match against Creek the other night. That is the third time in this set that McEnroe has been broken.
And he's only been out there serving 3 times, and here's why. Because if you give Jimmy Connors anything other than the fine serve, particularly fine serve of John McEnroe, you've got to try to keep the ball low to Connors. If you let him hit from a high position, he is on the return to serve, and John McEnroe is paying the price.
And Jimmy Connors is serving for the second set to go up 2-1. Point to Connors.
Jimmy Connors had to call a cap to get to that one, but he did. John McEnroe trying, Connors going back, but the lob volley from McEnroe was long.
That almost straight long. Some of the fans thought it had. And that is long and wide, and it's 30 love. Connors 2 points from a 2-1 lead. McEnroe won the first set 6-2. Connors the second set in a tiebreaker, 7 points to 4. And Connors now serving at 5-1, 30 love in the third. Way wide. He has 3 set points. 14. If McEnroe is to win, if this comes off, it's going to be a long afternoon. And that's what it's going to be if McEnroe is to win, because now the scores are 2-6, 7-6, 6-1. How about a Volkswagen tip from you, Cliff?
Well, the tip is really from Jimmy Connors here on the serve. He's got everything is perfect, but if there is a mistake in his serve, in my judgment, is the fact that he leaves the ground when he makes contact with the ball. Now, you try to throw a stone when you're as high as Jimmy Connors is, and you're not going to be able to have as much power as if you're planted on the ground. The tip, don't leave the ground when you hit your serve.
A new Volkswagen pickup is built like a truck, but from 0 to 50, it's faster than this MG. It comes with fuel injection, like this Formula car. It has a steering system, similar to this Ferrari, and front-wheel drive, like this Trans Am race car, the new Volkswagen pickup. It's built like a truck, but it drives like something else.
Volkswagen does it again.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
How you holding up? I'm all right. You want to go for 10 miles? If we make it, I'll buy you a beer. If we make it, I'll buy you a Lowenbrow.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
The fun side of John Newcomb. That's what I was shooting for. That's why I was shooting with my Canon AE1.
Ready?
It's different from most cameras because even on automatic, I get the shutter speed I need for really clear, sharp shots.
Oh.
Try the flash, John.
What do I do?
The AE1 is so easy to use. Even with a flash, about all you do is focus and click.
The Canon AE1, so advanced, it's simple. Canon, the official photographic consultant to World Championship Tennis.
We're live. John McEnroe to serve, beginning the fourth set. He's down now 2-1. At stake $100,000 to the winner, the WCT World Championship of Tennis trophy, and for whoever wins, it'll be his second WCT championship, replacing alongside of the only other person to do that, Ken Rosewall. Lob again, but that one's too short.
Jimmy knew what was going to happen as soon as he hit that lob because he knew it was too short, but it's interesting for me to see that I think that McEnroe is coming out with everything he's got right now. That's the lob from Connors. And that's again the lob from Connors. Jimmy having a little fun. He's 2-1 up. Why not?
Well, neither one has shown any signs at all of being an other than a big match, and each is capable of winning it. I see no signs of distress in McEnroe now that he's down a set, nor did I see when Connors was down a set. But that is the fourth double fault for McEnroe.
Jim, I see some fragility in the game of John McEnroe at the moment, if that's a word, but he seems to me to be fragile. He's not serving as high a percentage of first serves as he has when he is playing well, and although mentally in his expression in his face you can't see anything different, he's getting me that he's not entirely happy. He's not getting to the ball quite as quickly and as well as he usually does.
Wow. What were his percentage serving back in the first set? You have that McEnroe.
I have set number 2 here. He had 61%. He had 42% only in set number 3, and I think he paid the price.
It is 15-30. Clifton talking to McEnroe after one of his wins, I think it was after Goodhart, at which he allowed Heinz only 3 games, said, the word is around that you're practicing so poorly, yet you played so well. And John said something like, so what else is new?
That's right. He said that always happens to me.
30-all.
Talking about McEnroe's serve statistics, 67% into the forehand side, and into the backhand side only 33 on first serve. Those are third set statistics, 89% for Connors, which says a lot for his high percentage. But back to McEnroe's serve statistics on the backhand side.
And that's not why Connors is walking away. He got the point anyway. That is yet another double fault, and that is the 5th and the 2nd in this game for McEnroe. And again, he double faults to break point.
And there it is. That's the big serve of John McEnroe. You get a chance to see whether you feel that that ball might have been on the line. Looked very close, not maybe the best angle for us to call it. And second serves, John McEnroe still 66% into the backhand side, so call it 2 out of 3. And
McEnroe, with an inability to get the first serve in, is just painting himself into a dandy little corner here, in danger of losing his first service game in the 4th set, and he's down 2-1. And he painted himself into that corner as Connors breaks through. First game of the 4th set. McEnroe won the first. Connors has won the last 2, and a service break up in the 4th.
You give tennis balls a serious workout. At Penn, we grind them to the core. You serve them. We fire them from cannons. You smash them. We crush them. You expect a lot from a tennis ball. We demand it. That's why Penn balls play so long, so lively, so consistently. When you play Penn, you know they'll meet your standards. They've already met ours.
You see how good you can be with Minolta XG1.
Hey, you want to see some terrific pictures?
Depend on the automatic Minolta XG1 to give you clear, sharp pictures. It does the work. You take the credit.
Yeah, I
But hey, do you want to see some terrific pictures? No.
Yeah, look.
That's lovely.
Wait till you see how good you can be with Minolta XG1.
In the beginning, life was simple. But as time passed, man found the need to run, walk, stand, tippy-toe, or just mess around. And so the Osaga KT26 had to be created. The shoe that has received the ultimate 5-star rating from Runner's World magazine. After all, if man had been intended to be comfortable all day, he would have been born with the Osaga KT26. And that's the naked truth.
A year ago, John McEnroe had that trophy in front of him as the winner. They gave him the check for the $100,000, and he just flipped it into the top of the cup. He'd like a chance to flip one in this time, but right now, a little bit of trouble. Down 2-1, and Connors broke him in the first game of this 4th set, and Jimbo now to serve.
Well, he may have flipped the check into there, but I guarantee he didn't leave it in there. And there's Jimmy Connors on the angle. How does he get that angle? Because he gets so close to the net. Incidentally, the players are being paid this year in Barclays Visa travelers checks, would you believe? It will not be a check. It will be a lot of travelers checks.
Lay it on me.
$100,000.
Any way you want to give it.
Hold me back.
You know, Jimmy Connors always looks, as we said, aggressive, determined. But there comes a time when he looks like he's kind of in control. And I'm getting that opinion of how he looks right now, the way he moves. I've seen him for so many years. And he serves his first ace. That's the first of the match for Jimmy Connors.
Well, you call it, he certainly does look in control, but tell the truth, you were looking at the score. He's got 2-1, and he's got a break in set number 4.
Oh-ho! Wins it at love. You don't think he's not coming on?
And at the outset of this great confrontation before these two guys, I said some negative things about Jimmy Connors' serve. There was nothing negative about that, though, because he had a great direction on it. 2 aces in a row against John McEnroe, and Jimmy Connors usually guilty of not putting in the big first serve, which gives him percentage of aces. He gets a high percentage of first serves in to the court, which puts some pressure on his opponent, and he can just shown us that he can do it the other way too.
Now some of the folks here rooting for McEnroe to make it a match. At first they were rooting for Connors to make it a match, but John still is not getting the first serve in. It's a simplistic thing to say, but it all starts with this.
you to start counting, folks, how many errors Jimmy Connors makes. What he has done now is he's on his error percentage, and he is making McEnroe play every ball.
Got the first serve in. And McEnroe misses his bread and butter, the volley.
Well, Jimmy's just putting so much pressure on him. He's getting, as I said, a high percentage of returns a serve in, and McEnroe knows that even if he stays back now, Jimmy is not missing as many from the baseline. He hits them hard. He goes through the ball stays low, and it is causing all kinds of problems for John McEnroe. A man who most people feel from a technical standpoint is the more versatile of the two.
.1530. Remember that Connors has beaten, a hand here for McEnroe getting a point, has beaten McEnroe 2 out of the last 3 times they played.
First volley, solid volley from McEnroe. The lob from Jimmy, short that time, no problem for McEnroe. Put it away.
Got a break on the tape. And a couple of break points.
Well, when things are going your way, they go your way every which way. Jimmy Connors off the backhand side. He passes better off the backhand side, gets a little help from the net.
A couple of service breaks down on set number 4. Would that be disastrous to McEnroe? Not necessarily. But it's not a good spot to be in, especially with Connors getting stronger and stronger, more powerful. If that's possible for him to get more positive. Got the first serve in, and that helps. His break point, 30-40. Very short, but Jimmy will get there again.
Oh, I tell you.
McEnroe down 2 service breaks in the 4th set. Time is running out. The 1980 World Championship of Tennis will continue after these words from your local station.
Travel. It's nice to see what it looks like before you get there. And wouldn't it be nice to have a way of keeping tab on all those foreign purchases as you make them? Well, worry no more. This is called a travel pack. It's a free kit of useful material that the U.S. Customs has put together to help you avoid sweaty palms, especially when you get ready to bring yourself and your foreign purchases back to the U.S. Now, this declaration form has to be complete when you return through customs. So, why not take one along and fill it out as you buy? Avoid sweaty palms. Stop asking yourself all those questions at the last minute. Before you leave the country, get your free travel pack. Write Travel Pack, U.S. Customs Service, Washington, D.C., 20229, or ask your own travel agent. Who needs sweaty palms?
Tension, suspense, excitement. The Pacific Northwest Ballet. Don't miss it.
Love.
Well, if you did not get a chance, you get a look at it here in slow motion replay. Jimmy Connors, and look at that anticipation and quickness.
That is on the line. While we're away, I asked Chris Drysdale, I said, gee, John McEnroe is hitting his forehand and backhand very wide and seemed like 2 days ago. He said, remember what I said. Look at the amount of errors Connors is making. He's making none, and it puts a lot of pressure on McEnroe. Connors then was just almost threading the needle every time. Very deep, hitting the sidelines, the baseline, and a sturdy Love.
Man has not been #1 in the world for 5 straight years for nothing.
A mistake, but it was rare, as I think he could just taste it as it came to the net.
Well, you know, he's almost in the zone, or rather Ash called my judgment, or unconscious as we do. I guess he maybe think about taking up soccer, kick that ball. But he is playing extremely well, and you get the feeling that he knows that whatever he does now seems to be working for him. That's confidence.
Out on the line, short lob, and it is 30 all.
Talk so much about Jimmy Connors' lob. He tries yet another one, but the approach shot from McEnroe made it very difficult for him to do what he wanted to do with the lob, and McEnroe had the easy put away.
McEnroe gets a break, but his forehand is wide. Game point for Connors to go up 4-love as he was in the 3rd set, up 4-love.
Not sure if McEnroe would have agreed with you as far as that break was concerned. He would like that ball to have gone straight over, made it more difficult for Jimmy to volley it as it was, hit the tape, maybe helped Jimmy some. Gave him a good opportunity to bring McEnroe out wide, and McEnroe missed the passing shot.
Nope. Deuce. Again, as we said in set 3, if McEnroe climbs in here, it'll only be down just a service break, and he's back in the match on a firmer footing. At the net for the volley and doesn't get it over the net, and it's break point.
John McEnroe beat Jimmy Connors in the semi-final in Big D last year, the World Championship of Tennis. In the final, he beat Bjorn Borg, and he played that backhand cross-court topspin like a man possessed. Missed very few of them, and there were shades anyway of the backhand that we saw last year here in Big D in that last backhand passing shot from him.
Oh yes, there it is.
I was about to That McEnroe has not been as aggressive as he should have been, particularly lately, and he obviously came to the same conclusion. Second serve from Jimmy Connors off the forehand side. Beautifully played, wide and deep, giving Connors no chance.
All right, it is 1-3 in the fourth. McEnroe serving, down 2 sets to 1. Gee, he is just hitting him so deep.
You call it, Jim, it's deep. That's what makes the difference. It's not easy to hit a winner from the baseline, especially when your opponent is on the baseline. Jimmy Connors is one of the few people in the tennis business that can do that consistently.
Well, this is one of those WCT finals that Lamar Hunt, Mike Davis, all the folks here, Bill Holmes can be proud of. It's a good one. Now here. Net. Hit the net. And Bob Moody called it decisively. See if we could tell. No, we cannot, that it hit the net. But it's let and first serve John McEnroe at 15-0. Now McEnroe's after Bob Moody. Went after the man, and remember, he is under a warning already. Now, Moody, as you well know, the net court judge will keep his hand, and you may not be able to see it, but he can feel it. Whoops. You heard him say, "You jerk." You heard it. I heard it. Zeno Fowl has not said anything. There's a hand that Moody and all good net court judges keep their hand on it. And it's 15-30. And so Moody just gives it right back to him. Now McEnroe may have thought that was a little wide, but they're giving him his 9th ace. That's a fault, and that's a double fault. And guess what? He is double faulted to break point again.
You just simply can't afford to do that, not against anybody, particularly not against Jimmy Connors. And again, the psychological difference. Jimmy Connors been so aggressive on McEnroe's serve. He's keeping the pressure on McEnroe. He has lost his serve already in this game, in this set rather, has Connors, but he leads 3 games to 1.
Short lob, Connors will get there, but deeper lob, not too much, and that's put away and reduced.
Well, McEnroe's learning his lesson on the overhead. Number 1, he did not put away, so Jimmy Connors gets it back. But number 2, McEnroe says, call a cab to get that one if you can, Jimmy.
McEnroe.
Again, Connors keeping the pressure on. He has missed very few unforced errors.
He has missed very few unforced errors or committed very few
made. Thank you, Jimbo.
Yes, sir, that is on the line. McEnroe's going to look, but that looked good to me, and Merck Bishop said, yep, it's on the line.
Tennis serve. Set up this relatively, I was going to say easy, it's not easy, but Connors threads the needle. He has difficulty on that low forehand. That time he got it up and over in expert fashion.
Again, the razor's edge for John McEnroe. Down a service break. Has been down 2, fought back. And saves it. Deuce for the third time.
Jimmy again forced to play the low forehand. Look at it again. This time he gets it up again, but this time anticipated by John McEnroe. Easy volley from the man from New York.
Came right to a dead stop in its tracks.
Well, it seems that McEnroe can do it every which way on the volleys, and here's way number 57. Drop volley from John McEnroe.
Game goes to McEnroe, and let's have a Volkswagen tip on tennis.
John McEnroe's the man with the tip. We've talked about early preparation. How do you get it? You rotate the upper body like you saw him doing there. He then uncoils the upper body, full follow the ball on the strings for a long time. You hit it that way, and you'll have a great forehand as well.
Great match, Reunion Arena, Dallas, Texas.
Now, this camera isn't just for anybody, but you and I know you should have it. Now, what if I got Polaroid to give you $10 just for buying it? Come on now, this is the SX70 Sonar, the world's finest instant camera. Single lens reflex, automatic focus. Okay, but you will make it 20, but keep it quiet. Or if you buy the Pronto Sonar, you get $10. You want $5? Buy the one step. Just do it by June 30th, and we'll send you the money.
Mr. Wonderful.
Since the very beginning and far into the future, all the wondrous things man sees, experiences, and imagines, invents, discovers, dreams, and fantasizes, are what a new magazine called Omni is all about. Omni, the world's first magazine of science, fact, fiction, and fantasy. Pick up Omni today to keep and pass down to your descendants. On sale now, everywhere.
Ever feel like you're on a date all by yourself? Get certs. Get closer. When your husband says, "I love you," does he yell it from across the room? Get certs. Get closer. Only Certs has flavor crystals and retin for great taste and fresh breath that lasts over an hour. So if your sweetheart serenades you from long distance, get Certs. Get closer.
Connors to serve at 3-2 in the fourth. I'm Jim Simpson with Cliff Drysdale. You're looking on live the WCT Finals. Its 10th year from Dallas. And Connors much the better percentage of first serves in here in the fourth set. She missed hit that volley and is going to.
Pay the price he did, because you've got to get the ball away from John McEnroe. He is no slouch on the passing shots himself, this man from Douglastown, New York. It was the right thing for McEnroe to do. He's got to keep the pressure on, and he's trying. But if he does so, he's got to make his volleys more telling than that last volley that he did not put away from Jimmy Connors. Because if you give Connors a chance, a second look at the passing shot, you're in real trouble.
15 all. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the WCT Television Network.
This is ESPN, the Entertainment Sports Programming Network.
It's out. And 30-15. Look at Connors.
Well, it was just seconds ago that I was going to say this match has taken a dramatic turn once again, because John McEnroe had won the first point. He was playing aggressively on point number 2. He was looking like he may have a love 30 lead on Connors' serve to level the score here in set number 4 at 3 games all. As it is, Jimmy won because of the great passing shot. That second point of this game. He's also won number 3. It's 30-15.
For Connors, and time running out on John McEnroe. He's going to call the service break in a hurry.
Well, the thing about what happened that second point was that McEnroe, I think, felt, well, that's about as well as I can play the point. This is the thing I've got to do. And I still lost the point because Connors came through with that outstanding forehand cross-court passing shot. The mistake that he has made, though, is he's now starting to hang back. You've got to do what you know you do best, and you've got to keep doing it, even if it doesn't look like it's working all the time.
He is playing well. Connors leads 4 games to 2. In the fourth set, and 2 sets to 1. McEnroe broke Connors twice in the first set. Looked easy. Then all of a sudden, Jimmy began to come alive. Connors actually drew a warning in the second set in the 5th game.
It's easy to talk about what's going on in the minds of these two gentlemen. Jimmy Connors' side of the court, waiting for John McEnroe to ready himself for the serve. But what is causing more problems in McEnroe's mind than anything else is the fact that Jimmy Connors, given any opportunity, is being lethal. He's missing very few, and he's keeping the pressure on from the standpoint of consistency this afternoon. Very few unforced errors for Jimmy Connors' racket.
That's good, and there's the angle. He gets the take from the point. This must be Connors' day.
Well, watch this one, folks. And as you could see, as that ball went over the net, it also hit the net. Angle number 2. Good stretch from John McEnroe. Connors comes in and goes for what was not exactly your high percentage play, but it worked.
Yes. Second serve. Connors' strength return of second serve. And it's love 30.
And this may tell you why John McEnroe has been trying to get into Jimmy Connors' backhand most of the afternoon, forehand and backhand. If he hits it into the forehand, bingo.
The realization, 2 points in Connors would be serving the match. Love 30.
And that realization that you're talking about, Jim, very much in the forefront of Jimmy Connors' mind at this time.
His percentage of first serves lately has just become nearly dreadful. Puts the hole nearly every time. No.
Jimmy Connors keeping the pressure on John McEnroe, doing what he should do, coming into the net to attack, but faced with some outstanding shots. And again, I got to repeat my belief, and most people's, in fact, that Jimmy Connors more lethal off the backhand side passing shot than he is off the forehand. Great racket hit control, two hands.
Repeat again, if he wins this game, he'll be serving for the match. What a return to a winner! Connors breaks again for the third time in this set. And after losing the first set, is up 2 sets to 1 and 5 games to 2 in the fourth. Look at the remarkable return by McEnroe before the winner by Connors that takes us right now to serving for the match. Well, I tell you, Cliff, when it started out today and McEnroe won the first set 6-2, I knew it'd be a good match, but it looked like McEnroe was sharp as could be. And all of a sudden he has got the game on Connors' racket, serving for the match. And I'll say one thing about Jimmy. He has gotten older. McEnroe has been the impish one, saying a few words, complaining. Even when he lost the first set 6-2, Connors was absolutely in control.
Well, the key was the late, in my judgment, was late in the second set. Of course, the tiebreaker was so important for both players. 6-2 first set McEnroe had, and I think that if he had the mental attitude that Jimmy Connors has relative to the game of tennis, at that point he was playing aggressively. He was playing as well as he needed to play to beat Jimmy Connors, but he never closed Jimmy out early in that second set, and indeed late in the second set when they got into the tiebreaker, Jimmy came through, and he plays those tiebreakers so well. He again understands the important points as well as anybody else in the tennis business. And Jimmy then, from there on, starting at set number 3, started to make so few errors that the pressure was totally on John McEnroe. He is still feeling that pressure.
Paddy Connors watching, and remember what Cliff said as we began this match a long time ago, and that is whoever wins today, it helps them mentally, not on the computer, but helps them mentally. As you can see, McEnroe, 54% Connors, 83% first serves. beat McEnroe 3 times in 4 matches this year. Will give him the upper hand mentally, and it's going to help his pocketbook too. 3 points from the WCT Finals, Jimmy Connors' 2nd championship.
Connors both both first and second serves, 1 out of 4 only into the backhand side. Correct that, Jim. I said backhand, I meant forehand. He's serving basically into the backhand side, 75%.
Connors at the net, and he's got it open. Court stretches, puts it down. He's 2 points from the mat.
You look at the expression on Connors' face. He knows now that he's just 2 points away from it, set up by this unbelievable stretch from him. It got it not even on the strings, but I guess on the steel of that steel racket that he uses. Unbelievable stretch. Backspin on that ball. No way for John McEnroe to believe, and I didn't believe, that Connors was in any kind of position to even get to that ball, far less make the shot.
Right on the service line. Connors. Oh, he's got 3 match points.
Rather nonchalantly played there by Jimmy Connors, because he knew 1 point to go that he was in the driver's seat absolutely and totally. 100 big ones on the point. Right here.
A $60,000 difference in dollars between being the winner and the runner-up. On the sideline, and that is good. And here's Connors put away for the net. The second man in the history of the WCT Finals to win it twice. Jimmy Connors takes his place alongside a wall, winning 2-6, 7-6, 6-1, and 6-2. Connors.